In this video, I'm going to show you how to wire up just a standard electrical box and put a plug in it. So this is the electrical box. It's a pretty typical one that you would buy at the building centers, Rona, Home Depot, and stuff. And this is the plug. Okay, so we're going to put this plug in this box and wire it up. The first thing is, if you take your wire and with this tool, which is called a cable ripper, and you can see it has a little tooth inside there. That little tooth right there, that is going to pinch, or that's going to grab on this wire right inside, right in between the two wires inside. You want to go up on this wire about, this is called 14-2 wire, 14 gauge wire, and it has two conductors inside. So you want to go up on the wire about 6 inches, which you don't have to measure every time, but I mean I'll just measure this first one. And you want to take the cable ripper and you want to slide it up there and put the tooth inside, put the wire inside the cable ripper and get the tooth to cut along the length of that wire, just like that. Okay, so you can't see it yet, but there it goes. So I just ripped that wire out of there, or sorry, just rip the insulation off the outside. Okay, and then you take this set of pliers, which is called, these are called side cutters, and you're just going to cut that off so that you end up with this 6 inches of wire showing. Okay, now you're going to put this inside the electrical box, and so inside this electrical box there are clamps at the bottom. You take a red-handled Robertson screwdriver, and down inside the bottom there, you're going to undo or loosen the clamp on one side of the box. So you're going to loosen that off, and don't take it out of there. Just loosen it, okay? And then on the outside of the box, on the top side, you've got these tabs, and these tabs can be removed. So you remove one of these tabs by bending it up, okay, like this. And then bend it sideways so the thing snaps off, like that. Now you have a hole in the box that goes through where that clamp is, like that. So that's where the wire is going to go. Okay. Take your wire and put it through like so. Now this is really important. You see on the inside you see the wire coming through. And what you're going to do is you're going to tighten the clamp down on the wire, but it's really important that you tighten it on top of that insulation, the white insulation that covers the conductors. I'll show this to you in a second. Let me just tighten this down. And there we go. So look on the inside there. Okay, I've tightened the clamp on the white insulation. I did not tighten it on these on top of these conductors, because you might pinch through and touch the copper. So that's what it should look like. And now you're going to ground off, which means you're going to take this ground wire and you're going to wrap it around one of those, see the two screws in the bottom there. You're going to wrap it around those two, or one of those two. So again, you loosen this off. I've just loosened off one of the ground screws, and you slide this wire along one side of it, like that, and now you just tighten that down. Okay, and you have to trap that copper ground wire. It has to be trapped underneath one side of that screw, like that. Okay, nice and tight so it can't come off. From this point, now you're ready to attach the device, or the plug in this case. And the way this works is, generally, to an outlet, you've got the black wire, this black conductor, and that brings power to an outlet. And so that is going to get attached. If you look on the plug here, you see one side has silver screws, terminal screws, the other side has brass. We put the black wire on the brass, and we put the silver wire on, we put the white wire or neutral wire on the silver terminals. Okay, there's an old piece of wire here. I'm just going to get rid of. For these terminals, to turn the terminal screws, you're going to want a green Robertson screwdriver. Okay, so I'm going to get that out of there. There's an old wire in there. There we go. And first you strip the wires. So you take these wire strippers, and if you notice on these wire strippers there are numbers. Those numbers refer to the gauge of wire. Okay, so in this case we're working with 14 gauge, so look for the number 14 on these wire strippers. And you put 14 right there, and you tighten it, and you want to take about that much wire off. Or sorry, about that much insulation off, okay? Half inch or so. And then you take your needle nose pliers, and you go about halfway up on the needle nose pliers. So see what I'm doing here. I'm going to go up like this, and go up about halfway or so, and tighten. And you're going to pinch a hook on this. So I'm just going to grab that like that, and I'm going to twist a hook, just like that. And once that hook is in place, bring it around a little bit more. That's ready to go. Then now I'm going to do the same thing on this one, this white neutral wire. Clip it. Okay. Get the needle nose. Come up about halfway or so on the needle nose pliers. Pinch it and hook it around. Okay. There we go. So you have a hook like that. Okay. Now, we attach the device, we attach the plug. So, what did I say? I said the black wire goes on the brass screws, brass colored screws, and you come in sort of from the back. So watch this. Here's the device, okay, and you want the wire to be coming in sort of from the back like that, and most important, it has to hook clockwise around that terminal. So, if you can see that, what I've just done is I've just put that clockwise around there. Okay, can you see that? This is in reverse. Wow. I'm filming in reverse here, so it looks like it's counterclockwise. Anyway, tighten this down. And then go to the other side and do the same thing. Go clockwise around the screw. You might have to bend this around so that it will do it. And there we go. So now, again, it looks like I'm going counterclockwise, but in fact I have this the iPad filming the other way, so it's kind of weird. Anyway, there we go. You have to make sure that you're not pinching down on the white insulation here, and that you're only pinching down on the copper. And maybe you can't see it, but it looks like I might be pinching the insulation, but I'm not. I'm pinching only the copper. You should not see much copper there. You should not see much copper showing. And finally, I do the ground screw. So here we go. Give it a bend, and this goes on the ground. Once again, you go clockwise around the terminal and tighten it down using a green Robertson. Okay, you see that? There we go. So that's what these connections should look like. Nice and clean. And clockwise, even though it doesn't look clockwise on the video because it's filming backwards for some reason. And that's it, nice and clean. I should not see much copper showing around the terminal. And then I want you to show that to me. Okay, so it's grounded off on the inside and so on. Thanks very much.